ci olof moo di suñ ko doorut xaleel yaa suñu magee duñ ci mën a tekki loolu mooy problème bi.
ok suma beneen question bi mooy naka nga gisee comme new generation yi ak artistes yi fii si biir Gambia.
like naa ci ñu bari waaye ñoom ñëpp amuñ equipment seen kër ba pare xamuñ technique bi nga xam ne moo war a transform talent into a product. People like Inyasi, Nova, Balarangs, you know, there are a handful of artists I really love them, and I think that if they go on record, they will do very well. Why amuñ the technology?
Right.
Understanding what is the meaning of a recording. Because recording is like going to the market. And then mixing it is trying to cook it. And then editing it is trying to polish it, you know, just to do the last jimbo and the last touch of the thing.
Yeah.
And then the production is the final package. They don't know how every section works. They don't know the equipment for every stage. So they cannot assimilate, you know, the technology and the ideas.
Okay.
So that's why it is a bit difficult for Gambian artists now to make great music. Because if Michael Jackson would talk to you now, he would sound different on a record than talking to you. But when you record an artist, you sound like you are talking. But when you go to the technology, that's where the magic is.
Okay.
And that's the magic we are missing in the Gambia.
Wow. All right. Let's have a short break. Dinañ dellu si fii ne ñu gën a waxtaan ak Uncle Oku.
Thank you.
Enjoy super fast high-speed internet for less. Gemcell 3G, beyond your imagination. Yai Barum.
Gisuma celebrity fee.
Okay. Lu tax nga wax loolu?
Because they all broadcast celebrities.
dañ am seen agenda man ma am suma agenda te man xam naa ne fu ma jubluwaay bu baax la so yooyu du suma problème du ma leen dee faale.
Not be able to eat, must not be able to sleep, must think about them 24/7 more than every waking moment and dream about them if you get to sleep.
Okay, welcome back. Ba tey ñu ngi am fii nii Uncle Oku Dramé. Uncle Oku suma beneen laaj bu mu bëggoon a laaj rek mooy naka nga gisee entertainment scene bi back in the days before ak léegi.
Back in the days, the word back in the days mooy lu ñu ooyee démba.
Waaw.
Démba ci ñun daf dee mel ni lu dee parce que ñun bëgguñoo roy dara démba. suñu maam yi fàtte nañ leen suñu héros yi fàtte nañ leen dëkk bu nekk daf di am history of the Super Eagles and the Fambondi ku ko study di nga mën a create a music industry parce que seen jamono industry la woon dañ daan fay salary dañ daan repair equipment dañ daan develop instruments in the Gambia koñ boo dem fekk fa instrument store koñ boo dem dégg fa kër gu band di practice ci mbedd yi ngoon Banjul yëpp a ngi amee bands yu practice from 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 in the evening every day la musicians yi daan def.
Wow.
Then you have about 20 nightclubs to support the artists. A handful of nightclubs in Banjul So they were talk of the town, Sahara nightclub, City Pride, Ngalam Africa, Cave, Tropical nightclub. Then you go back to Black Star. Then you go back to Bottom Belly, Uncle Joe's, Mass Club.
Wow.
There were so many venues. Daga gina club biduga club bali, gina club biduga club bali. So musicians are on examination. They exercise every day and they compete. And then during weekends, we have live music all over Banjul in the streets. Musicians would compete. In the end, it was competition between Senegalese bands and Gambian bands.
Wow.
So every weekend you have bands coming from Senegal competing with Banjul bands, and the next week the Banjul bands would go to Senegal.
Okay.
So we had a kind of an exercise. We were constantly training and constantly producing. And these activities we call a scene. We don't have any scene anymore. We have musicians, but we don't have a music scene. That's why we also cannot have an industry.
Okay.
This is the situation.
Okay. Uncle Oko, I'm definitely a little bit of research. You guess like in 1981, Yangi am a little problem for Gambia. Do you like to talk about it?
How do you know? Yes. In 81, of course, Gambia had a rebellion here and the band was crushed. I think they targeted Fambondi for destruction because arrest nañ Pa Touré, Ray Panjay bass, suñ bass guitariste bi dañ ko shoot ci dena mu dee man ñu téye ma takama ceene ma te minuma ceen so léegi ñu ceene ñu dugal ñu seel for so many days am ñu fa home am ñu fa dee ñu génne ñu foofu yóbbuti ñu dencaat ñu ay mile 2 ak dépôt fu nekk lañ exercise moo tax léegi sooy romba mile 2 sax di nga fan la toilette bi nekk because but what happened was loolu was fun, but what the most serious part of it was being abandoned in music do amati Gambia for 2 years. Ñun musicians ci la ñu dundé, so we decided to leave the Gambia ñu dem dëkk Europe. Many Gambian musicians now ñu ngi dëkk in Europe and America, great musicians. Some of them played with Al Jarreau, some of them played with ABBA, some of them played with Larry Williams, ñoom Malando Gassama, ñoom in Panjay drums in Paris, playing with Mori Kante and Salif Keita, ñoom Samba Njai Kecho. Best Gambian musicians are all abroad, simply because they went to Europe, they intermarried, they have family. Why in 81 they decided the music do Gambia for a number of years.
Wow.
So mu threatened swing livelihood. So ñu tan ñu def lu ñu oyé strategic retreat, ñu retreat back to Europe. But actually li ñu gënaloon mooy ñu start on in the Gambia a music center and a music business center, producing music material and also training young musicians how to record. Ñun plano ne suñu own Motown in Gambia, the Motown sound of Africa will be in Gambia.
Okay.
So Jimmy Cliff came to Gambia to visit us. Many famous people around the world, Dollar Brand, Abdullah Ibrahim, they all came to Gambia to see our music scene. And we were #1 in Africa with the Super Eagles.
Wow.
And we attracted the whole world. But suddenly, something happened somewhere that Gambians decide to abandon the past. All of the work, sul jëf taxawal sa jëf.
Yeah.
They abandon the past and now they bring us a future which is no future at all. The music scene is dying. Musicians, Lincoln 2 years ago is worse now. It means that they lost their momentum. But the music is asleep. We have the experts in the Gambia, and we have to use these experts. If we don't use them, some other country will use them. But for us to be part of the new digital economy, whereby Gambia will play an active role in global television, I think our culture is a tool to get us there.
Okay.
It's very important.
Legi yow fu nekk ni ban advice na am pour jox Gambian artists yi?
You dem taxaw ci ministers because they want them to authorities yi. Because Gambian individuals cannot take the culture in their own hand. Now, an individual can promote the culture of a country. This is a national duty. We have to go and talk to authorities that we want to have 1 or 2 or 3 recording studios, professional. We need 2 or 3 performing halls where we can perform.
Right.
Something like Alliance Franco. If you have this in every region in the Gambia, you will produce so much talent. And probably music will become our economy. Music, if it is well done, can surpass tourism. Because tourism is not a guaranteed thing. If there is an epidemic or there is a virus or whatever, tourists don't come. But music industry, we can always supply the world with cultural products from the Gambia, and we have so many nice talents, boys and girls coming up. But what is important, and we must realize that you cannot forget the musicians of the past. In Jamaica today, where I live, and